Let's start with a connection. Everybody listening in, close your eyes. Visualize the one person that you have lost and you miss dearly. The one person who's affected your life profoundly. And that one person you'd like to bring back to life. Let that face flash. Who do you see? Hold that face and that name inside of you. The face I see, it's of my grandmother, Hera. We are all in this moment, in this room, connected by our loss. But how do we usually address loss? Over time, we find methods and means to let it go. Well, I stand here today on this formidable platform because I made a conscious choice. A choice to not let it go. A choice to use my form of art and expression, that of architecture, to bring my loss to life so I never have to let it go. And why did I do this? The void I felt inside of me, created by her physical absence, well, that ignited the creative rebel in me. And true art, it's birthed in rebellion. I rejected and thwarted all convention and every tradition. And I sought my way to bring my loss to life so I never have to let it go. Art is birthed in defiance. I picked up my pencil and I dared. I drew audacious lines on paper, and that paved the way forward. And since ideas change everything, I stand here today to share with you my journey with the hope that I can awaken the artist in you, every one of you. In this room and beyond, because you know there's an artist inside of you. And I want for that artist to rise, to rebel, and to seek your way to bring your loss to life, because you never have to let it go. Since time immemorial, we deal with loss by building a memorial to commemorate our deceased. I never set out to build a memorial or create a building. My intent was to create a spirit vessel, one in which I could feel her presence, a living and breathing embodiment of her. My art, architecture. My site, the land on which we live together. And my purpose, to create the presence of her absence. Because the truth is, we all have that one person, don't we? That one person who has nurtured and nourished our soul. And for her, I wanted a magnum opus to keep her alive. I watched as the house in which we live was torn down. I watched as her favorite mogra shrub was uprooted from the earth. And it's as those roots left the earth, and I watched, that my soul received a brief. The artist in me was awakened and ignited to bridge the emotional and the physical plane, to bridge Hera and Husna. Let's meet Hera. Hera is infinite. She's courageous. She's unstoppable. She is unrestrained. And she's omnipresent. Eight angular and overlapping bridges not only connect and contain the boundaries of space, they in fact create loops of continuity depicting the endlessness of Hera's journey. Hera is magnanimous, she's audacious, she's fearless, and she lives on in the angles of the structure that pierce the boundary of space and like arrows point towards the limitless. Hera is daring. I often wonder, when I started my first sketch, how I so naturally broke the norm. It's because of the life we shared. She dared me to dare. I broke the conventional container of the rectangle, the template used by architecture. And in doing so, I pushed the boundary of thought and form, just like her. The truth, it's not easy to be courageous all of the time, is it? There are times I acutely miss her physical presence. And at these times, I channel my vulnerability to create the presence of her absence. I created the nothing space, one in which you feel everything. As one's eyes turn skyward, the earthly plane dissolves, making one feel winged and weightless, one with the big beyond. It's in this state of inner flight that Hera spreads her wings. Her many avatars are revealed, all in the same room. With every inch of movement, a flutter is created. This transcends the notion that architecture is fixed and permanent, because even walls have wings. And it moves it into a realm where architecture is kinetic, multidimensional, transformational. She could have been so much more. And if you knew where to look, you would find her unrealized dreams and her latent desire. And I wanted this to be depicted too. So I placed and I positioned mirrors. I pivoted them so that at every level you see a lot more than you expect. Fragments of yourself and the space, they collide and coalesce until there is one much larger image, one in which she is everywhere. She is in her dupatta. She's in the samovar. She is in her books. She's in the eagles. She's even in the shadows. She's omnipresent. Hera has been called a seminal piece of architecture. I never set out to create architecture. I never set out to create a building. My intent was to create a living and breathing embodiment, a spirit vessel in which I can feel her. Had I set out to create architecture, this would not be an interaction worth having, because it's not in the outcome, but in the doing. It is in the act of creation, the rigorous, relentless, unyielding act of creation, that the alchemy exists. And it's in that alchemy that you see the entire universe in a single grain of sand. Hera is my story. But know that it is yours too. And it's connected to that face that you saw with your eyes closed a few moments ago. My form of expression, architecture. What's yours? Is it paint? Is it clay? Is it stone? Is it wood? Is it words on paper? I stood on my ground and I received my brief. What's your ground? Because the truth is, we are all in this together. We are all connected by our loss, but we are connected by the language of art. And be it cave art, the Mona Lisa, or your child's scribbles, art is the only way we make sense of the world. We discover who we are, deep within, all the layers inside, and how we connect with those within and without. We set our soul free so it can breathe. And in doing so, we bring our loss to life. So whoever you are, and whatever you do, there is an artist inside of you. So go. Go find your Hera and bridge your loss with life. Thank you.